Ferrari. It's an automobile brand that embodies everything about soul, passion and history. The iconic pop-up headlights, distinctive side strakes and mid-mounted drivetrain. Few cars come close to delivering the level of prestige offered by that which is nosed by the prancing horse. One of these in the rearview mirror strikes fear into any keen driver, and one spotted out the windscreen won't be there for long. Until it breaks down on the side of the road, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the world's most reliable Ferrari. The MR2 was available with a variety of different engines. In the US you could get this with an awful single cam 2.2 litre inline 4 making barely over 100 kilowatt. But the two models that most people will be considering will be the 2 litre inline 4, the 3S GE making around 130 kilowatt, or this, the GTS with the 3S GTE, a 2 litre turbocharged unit. This particular one is making around 180 kilowatt, 242 horsepower, and 304 newton meters, which are some pretty healthy numbers for a car that barely weighs more than a ton. Power is naturally going to the rear wheels through a 5-speed manual transmission. The interior is a delightful place to sit. I love the Nardi steering wheel that this particular one has. It's really small and definitely aids to give a good connection to the driving experience of the car. What I love about it is the immersive feeling of this cockpit. Everything falls very easily to hand. There's absolutely nothing for the passenger to do or use. Everything is just placed right in front of the driver, barely a few centimeters away from the steering wheel, much like the S2000, the Supra and the Celica from a similar era. Transmission feel is very good. It feels lovely to row through the gears, and the interior quality for a 25-year-old Toyota is actually not half bad. I suppose we'll find out when we drive it how many squeaks and rattles there are, but you've got a few places to put things in here. The seats are reasonably comfortable, and all of the vinyls have that typical 90s Toyota look to them, but at least everything is put together reasonably well on the inside of here. Driving the Toyota MR2, pulling out into traffic, bit of beans. Oh yeah, it's that old school turbo power delivery where it's almost Honda-y in the way that it builds power, where at the lower revs it's obviously not making too much boost, but when it really gets up to the higher RPMs you just feel it progressively build more and more and more power as the revs increase, which is so fun. Whereas, you know, if you're used to driving modern turbocharged cars from today, they just make the same power at 2,000 as they do at 6,000, you know. Whereas this is quite fun where, you know, you put your foot down and it's just more, and you just feel it just going. Oh, and I love just the response from the engine. Oh, that is fantastic. And man, it's comfortable. It's reasonably quiet in here. There's hardly any squeaks or rattles. Transmission feels great. Steering feel is really good. Only thing that isn't so great is the brakes are just sponge. The other thing that's amazing is just how easy it is to drive. The clutch on some cars I find is very grabby, and if you're a bit too quick coming off you get that bucking effect, whereas this one it just smoothens out all of your inputs, which is nice, but it's still a really responsive cable throttle, so if you want to rev it down, just no waiting around. Oh, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. Oh gee, understeer. Fantastically smooth power delivery. There's a reason why cars like these were popular back in the day. Where else can you get a mid-engine car for back in the day, not a very huge amount of money, that when you put your foot down, does that, you know? Oh yeah, fantastic fun. And it really revs too, it just zings up to well over 7,000 RPM, which is glorious. So there we go. I apologise that I haven't really been able to get it onto any kind of winding roads, but for the very brief period of time that I have had to drive the MR2, It's fantastic. It makes great noises, has a good amount of power. It's very, very easy to drive. It rides better than my Accord. It's reasonably quiet, it's smooth, and above all else, it's just fun. So there we go, the Toyota MR2. What a delightful car this is to drive. Even just flipping on a motorway and driving through town, it is so much fun to drive. And if you want to see some other cars that I've reviewed that are rather similar to the MR2, then click on the links popping up right about now, and I will very much look forward to seeing you again next time.